What's up, y'all? It's your girl, Carrie Hilson.
Hey, what's happening, homie? This TIP, man.
Yo, what's up? This Big Boy. Y'all know what time it is. Live from the West Coast. You already know you checking out Hard Knock TV. You heard?
Yeah, what up, though? This is Common, and right now you checking out Hard Knock TV.
You watching Hard Knock TV, you understand?
Learn that you yacht.
Hey, what's up? This is Travis Barker. You're watching Hard Knock TV.
Let's get right into it. The title, Give a Drummer Some.
Yeah.
Can you explain some of the references for maybe a younger generation who might not get some?
Yeah, like James Brown era, like, you know, like he was always doing stuff like that. AM used to have the best ones of like, hear the drummer get wicked. All these, you know, like dope ones, or like, you know, James Brown like live saying like, the drummer ain't had some in some time or whatever. You know what I mean? Like all these rad things. So yeah, that's where that spawned from. Our last set actually with DJ AM that we had constructed had like little bits and pieces of it in there.
One more time, I want to give the drummer some of this funky soul we got, yeah.
Speaking of AM, how much did the mixtapes that you did with him and all the live stuff that you guys did together, how much of that influenced this album?
Oh man, I think anything you do leading up to like a project influences it. And Adam had such a big, you know, influence on me, like coming from like, you know, I listened to hip hop all my life and rock music and speed metal, but like AM would just come with the craziest shit ever. You know, sometimes I'd be like, what is that? You know, and it'd be like, you know, he introduced me to like dubstep like 4 years ago. You know what I mean? And like all this crazy shit. And you know, he was just always, you know, always a step ahead when it came to music. So yeah, absolutely. Like even opened, I mean, I'm already like hating on boundaries and genres and walls and lines and everything, and he even made me, you know, kick those doors down even more.
His birthday's coming up next month. What do you miss most about AM? Oh
man, I mean, there's a million things, you know, not to mention just like how great of a DJ he was. That was like one of the best dudes ever, you know. He was really cool, man. He was a big support system for me.
Do you remember like who it was that drew you into hip hop? Do you remember what song or what group or what moment?
Man, it was like all the same year. I was introduced to like Whodini, like Friends was like really popular. You know what I mean? Like I knew that song really good. Beasties obviously like changed my life. Public Enemy, like RunDMC, like all that stuff. And then, I mean, that's what eventually caught my eye and caught my ear, and I was like hooked, and I followed everything, you know, ever since then. Like I went through like my little phase where I listened to like Tha Alkaholiks and the Pharcyde, and like that was my shit, like when I was skateboarding a lot, you know. And Wu-Tang Clan, like I got into hieroglyphics and like all sorts of different hip-hop. Every piece of hip-hop I could like kind of like, you know, check out or investigate. I was when I was young, you know. That's how I was with music in general, you know. Before there was the internet, I was just buying stuff, you know, like listening to music.
My favorite songs actually from listening to the album today is the track with Busta, Twista and Yelawolf.
Oh, thank you, man.
How did that track come about?
You know, originally it was like, you know, listening to like there was so much music, like from like old Brazilian music to like the Ramones, like let's go, you know, all that stuff. And I had just started messing around with like, you know, some beats. Actually, this kid Kev who does production with me or whatever, Kevin Bavona, we just started constructing that track. And then I was like, man, at the time Busta had been hitting me back and forth going like, hey man, you know, I'm still on your record, right? Or whatever. I was like, oh, you're tripping. The fact that he's even asking me, you know what I mean? That means I should have delivered a track to him last week, you know what I mean? So I sent him three different beats that I did, and he picked that one, you know? I had this beat that I was planning to get M on, that I wanted him on, and he ended up, you know, it ended up just going that way, you know? And then Busta set the bar. He did the first verse, Twista did the second, and then I hit Yelawolf up, and he was like, you know, it had actually been a dream of mine since I started rapping to be on a record with Twista or Busta. So you don't know how much this means to me or whatever, you know. So he like, it was just a cool experience all the way around with that track. I think everyone was stoked, you know.
Who do you think raps the fastest? It seems like every verse, everybody's trying to like rap even faster than the
Dude, it's like a
verse.
rap contest. Yeah, it's like everyone that hears that song, it's so action packed. They all do it so good, dude, man. Like Twista, you can hear every little thing he says. Like Busta, like he just he made like the guitar noise in it. Like it's just like everyone did their shit in it, you know, and was so creative. And Yelawolf even switches his cadence up a couple times during it. So it was action packed getting everyone's verses from that.
I read that you're working with like RZA. You work with a lot of producers. How does the creative process happen when you're working with other producers?
Well, see, the only producer like that really like did a lot of production on my album, besides the stuff I co-produced with people, was Pharrell. Like the Pharrell joint, he had already pretty much had it almost completed, and then I just finished doing some production on it and played a lot of drums on it, you know. So I really let him set the tone, because it was like, I'm a big fan of him too, and we had gotten in the studio a couple times, and I liked that beat more than anything we had come up with, you know, the Pharrell joint, the Lupe joint, I'm sorry. But like, you know, say for like Chuck, Cool Kids, of course, like I let him get down. He played live drums on that with me, you know. RZA, he actually came in, you know, and I thought he'd just jump on a beat I had made, and he's like, hey man, let's make something from scratch, and I want to play guitar on it. You know, that's how Carry It came about, you know. And then it already had that sound, so I was like, let's reinforce this sound and get Tom Morello, because he's the homie of RZA's and mine, you know. So it was like natural.
For people who weren't in the room today, how would you describe the album to them?
It's like a movie. Sort of like a movie, you know, and there's just, you know, all these different people playing different characters. It feels like, you know, it's like 16 songs, and to me, I don't feel like any of them sound the same or like feel the same. So I don't know, it's just different, you know, and there's loads of drums. I mean, I don't know if you could tell with all the intros and outros, like there's marching snares and marching drums everywhere throughout it. So, I mean, hopefully people will hear it and be like, yeah, that's Travis. That makes sense. Like, you know what I mean? You won't get it like mistaken with another, you know, record of yours or something.
I read somewhere that early stages you were part of a jazz ensemble, and that's like part of what got you in the drumming, or part of the early stages.
Yeah, well, just in school and stuff, you know, I'd always played in jazz band. My dad was always like, you know, be well-rounded, listen to everything, you know. So I sort of did, you know, that kind of influenced me to always be like, listen to everything and kind of be inspired by everything, because there's always something dope you can take from, you know, like some music, or that you'll appreciate or like about it, you know.
What's something that you think fans might not know about you?
Man, that's a good question. I don't know. It's kind of all out there. I don't really have no secrets, no closet shit I'm trying to keep from everybody. I was a trash man. Like, you know, any shit that's embarrassing, everyone knows, you know? Like, I don't know.
Maybe any like hobbies or favorite movies, or what do you do when the limelight is off and you have your personal time?
I love running. I love jump roping. I love MMA. I love cars. That's pretty much it. Skateboarding.
So whenever I see you around Lil Wayne and Game, it always seems like you guys have like some kind of like rapport. Can you speak a little bit about just what it's like vibing out with those guys? It's like, you know, you did Dope Boys with Game, and like a couple tracks with Wayne.
Game's dope, man. He's like I see it so hard, because you know, when you know someone, you're just like, well, what do you think that they're gonna be like, you know what I mean? Because he's like, man, he's such a straight up dude. Like he's always impressive in the studio, always. Like, he's just a monster. He has so many ideas. He's a stand-up dude. He's a good father. Like, he surprised the shit out of some people, you know what I mean? He's that cool. And same with Wayne, man. They're both, man, I can't say anything negative about any one of them. You know, they've always been there for me, and I've always tried to do whatever I can for them.
Have you got a chance to work on Game's new album at all? When I talked to Pharrell, he called Game the most underrated rapper, and that when people actually hear this album that's going to come out, it's going to blow, you know, some people's minds. Seriously,
I mean, I've heard more than a couple people say that, and I feel like I don't know, does he get slept on? If he does, then time for people to wake up, because he's going to keep surprising people, you know?
Stay tuned, listen to Game of Life, and these are the cards I've been dealt. Give you the real deal, live footage, so you can feel for yourself. It's uncut and raw, ghetto reporter. Since before the new world was in order, embedded in places you dreaded and never thought of. The corners, the streets and projects, the one-bedroom apartments, the hood. I'm the voice for all of y'all misunderstood. It's because I'm hip-hop. Maybe I was born from the struggle, hustle and hover above the earth. Observe the concrete jungle and expose all lies. From the block, it's all lies. Revolution of the mind. It will be. Hard. giving nothing but truth.